Hello everyone and welcome to CDA. I am so excited that you are either considering this journey or you are ready to start this journey, enhancing your professional development, continuing your education, and just making your classroom, your school, and the community a better place by completing your Child Development Associate's credential. This short video is going to be an overview of the CDA program that is offered by timthetrainer.com. Hopefully this video will answer any questions that you have about the process, let you know that we are here for you to help coach you and mentor you, guide you through this process. I am here for you to answer any questions about any of the material or to give you additional information beyond the scope of the training material. We've got your back. So let's go ahead and start this overview of the CDA process. What you see right here on the screen is just kind of a little chart to help you understand how a CDA works. Whether you're getting your education from me, Tim the Trainer, or you're using some other training institution to get your education to apply for your CDA, the process is the same no matter who you're getting the course from, all right? First off, you're going to select if you're going to be going for an infant toddler CDA, if you're going to be going for a preschool CDA, or for family child care. So that's the first thing that you want to determine. Next, you've got to make sure that you have a minimum of a high school education, or you could be a junior or senior in high school that is enrolled in some type of technical program that is approved by the education agency. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to complete 120 hours of professional education in the 8 core competency areas outlined by the Council for Professional Recognition. That's what you're going to be doing with me. Is our role in the CDA process is to provide you with the 120 hours of professional education needed. While you are completing your coursework, you're also going to be completing 480 hours of work experience in the setting and the age group that you're looking to get your credential in. Many of you probably already have this experience outlined, but if you're brand new to the industry, by the time you complete this coursework, you're going to have your 480 hours of experience. And the way I've designed this program is as you're completing your coursework, there's going to be assignments for you to also complete your professional portfolio. And I strongly encourage you to follow these instructions. As you're going through the coursework, whenever I instruct you to collect documents, go ahead and start collecting those documents and building your portfolio. That way, by the time you're done with your coursework, you're also done building your portfolio. So many times whenever I'm teaching the CDA class, there's a lot of people that get a lot of stress and anxiety over building their professional portfolio. We have tried to make this as easy as possible for you. It's not something that I can do for you, all right, because this is all about the process, and it's about you researching and finding documents that match your philosophy and your beliefs. So you're going to have to do a little bit of work on your own to collect these documents. You want them to be yours, all right, or your facility that you work at, or something from your community. It needs to be kind of specific to you. So again, it's not something I can provide for you because that would defeat the purpose of the process, all right? But if you do need assistance finding any of the documents to add to your professional portfolio, please reach out to me. We're here for you. We can help guide you the best we can. Also, after you complete your 120 hours of professional training, after you build your professional portfolio, then you're going to collect family questionnaires. And the family questionnaires are going to be located in the back of your competency statement booklet that will be mailed to you from our office. So make sure you hang on to those right there. Again, don't stress out about this. You're going to be just fine as you go through the CDA process. As you're growing in the classroom, your parents are going to see this. You're going to have conversations with them. I think that you're going to be surprised at how your questionnaires come back. They're really going to be benefiting you. Good affirmation. Again, don't stress out about this too much. All right. Now, after you complete your CDA course with timthetrainer.com, you're not done. All right. That's just the first couple of steps right there. The biggest part is that you've got to make that commitment to applying for your CDA with the Council for Professional Recognition. And you're going to do that online. You're going to go to the cdacouncil.org website and you will officially apply for your CDA. Again, whether you're using me, Tim the Trainer, or you're using any educational program, college, university, trade school, the process is the same, all right? The only people that issue your actual CDA credential is the Council for Professional Recognition out of Washington. Once you are ready to apply for your CDA, you're going to do that online. You're going to submit a $425 assessment fee to the council. That is paid to the council in Washington. It is not paid to me. And then at that point, you will also select a professional development specialist, someone who is endorsed by the CDA Council, and you will arrange a time. Well, they will come and they will visit your program. They will observe you in the classroom. They will review your professional portfolio. They will review your family questionnaires, and they'll do a reflection, some reflection time with you. All right. You will also schedule a CDA exam, and you're going to do that once again online, and it's going to be a CDA exam at a local Pearson VUE testing center. Okay, so you're going to have to actually go to a testing center and do your CDA exam. Okay, so that's not something you're going to do with me. You have to go actually to a testing center in your area. Once again, don't stress out about this. If you complete the coursework the way we have it outlined, I'm actually going to give you a sample exam to help prepare you for the real one. You're going to be okay. All right, you're going to be okay as long as you follow the process that we have outlined. And then once you have all of that done, you've completed your 120 hours of professional training. You have your 480 hours of work experience. You've created your portfolio. You've done your family questionnaires. You've applied for your CDA with the council. You paid your assessment fee. You went and took your exam at the testing center. You had your PD specialist come out and observe your classroom, review your documents, and have their reflection time with you. And then you can either earn your CDA, or if there is something lacking, you will be deferred and you'll have the opportunity to make those corrections. All right. So with that being said, y'all, this is a process and it takes time. All right. This is not something you can do in a weekend. This is not something you can do in a week or two. All right. I would say that the average person spends about 6 to 9 months working towards their CDA. And we want you to take your time. It's about the process. It's about learning and growing. It's about enhancing yourself and enhancing your classroom. This is not a time to spend just focusing on what you're currently doing, but it's about how can you do things differently. That's what this is all about right here. All right. Once you register for the CDA coursework with timthetrainer.com, we're going to mail 2 documents to you. The most important thing you're going to get from us is this textbook, and it is the Essentials for Working with Young Children, 3rd edition. This is going to be the biggest piece of your course, and you're going to read and you're going to reflect on every chapter in this book. Then you're going to save this book as a resource. It is a wonderful, wonderful book, all right? And even if you're not going through the CDA process, I encourage teachers and directors and owners to get a copy of this book to use as a resource. It's very, very well written. It matches our philosophies and our beliefs. It is pretty golden right there. The other publication that you're going to be receiving from us is the Child Development Associates National Credentialing Program CDA Competency Standards. And depending on what age group you're working with, you could get the infant toddler edition or you could get the preschool edition. All right. Depending on what, like I said, what age group you're working with. If you've got questions about the age group that you're working with, give me a call. We normally run into this with 2-year-old teachers because a 2-year-old by definition is a toddler. All right. But if you're working with older 2-year-olds, it might be more beneficial to do the preschool edition. But by definition, the 2-year-olds would fall into the toddler edition. If you're an administrator and you're working towards your CDA, you're going to need to, what I like to call, adopt a classroom. All right. And that's going to be your classroom that you do your coursework on. You build your professional portfolio around that age group. And whenever it comes time for your PD specialist to come out and do your observation, it's going to be based on that particular classroom or age group. Unfortunately, at this time, the CDA Council does not recognize after-school programs. So if you are working in an after-school program, you're going to do the same thing as an administrator. You're going to need to select or adopt a classroom that is either infant, toddler, or preschool, and you'll need to complete your coursework and have all of your observations done in one of those early education classrooms. Don't skip reading this material right here. While I said, The Essentials is a wonderful book and there's incredible information in here, y'all, I love these 2 books right here. I'm a very checklist type of person, and these are written in the form of checklists to help you, once again, build your classroom, grow yourself professionally. Please don't ignore these 2 books right here. I think that you're going to find that the information in your competency standards are just as beneficial or more beneficial than what you're going to find in Essentials. All right? So don't lose these. We're going to mail you, like I said, we're going to mail you these 2 publications. Please don't lose them. Please don't let them get destroyed. They are a little on the pricey side. So if you do need a replacement, you're going to need to order and pay for those once again. You're going to order it yourself. You're going to pay for it yourself. So it's best to go ahead and hang on to what we send you. Okay. How are you going to access your coursework? Well, when you go to our website, timthetrainer.com, you're going to log in to your personal portal. So up in the upper right-hand corner, you're going to click on Log In. If you don't already have an account with us, you're going to create an account with an email and a password. Super quick and easy. Once you get into your portal, you're going to go to your personal portal, and you'll see right there on the screen where it says My Portal. All right. You're going to click on that right there, and it's going to take you inside your personal portal. Once you get in there, you're going to see, courses that you have completed with us in the past, if you have completed other courses with us. But then you'll see a tab for CDA. All right. Once you've registered, you have successfully registered for CDA, that will be available to you. You're going to click on that CDA icon, like the example I'm showing you on the screen, and then that's going to take you into your coursework. This is where you're going to begin your training. Okay, you're going to start by doing the overview of the CDA, the Welcome to the CDA webinar, which is what you're watching right now. And then it's going to take you into each functional area. You must complete the coursework in order. So you can't skip around to other chapters and do chapter 8 first and then come back to chapter 2. They have to be completed in order. You're going to have worksheets that need to be completed, and then you'll do an exam for each functional area. As you're working on your worksheets, they are lengthy. It is a lot of information, and there's going to be a lot of data that you input. These need to be very specific to you and your classroom, and you want to make them paragraphs, all right? If you have single word answers or 2 or 3 word answers, then I'm probably going to be rejecting them, all right? But they need to be substantial answers written from your point of view. Now, the exam is going to be very specific to the material in your coursework. All right, so you'll kind of notice a difference between those two. Make sure that you've got your personal TechPeds ID, your Texas Early Childhood Professional Development System ID. That's going to be required for all CDA participants. As you complete your CDA coursework, your progress is uploaded into your TechPeds account as well. And that is something that's being monitored by the Texas Professional Development System. Once you do complete your coursework, it's going to be critical that you give adequate time in between each chapter for me to review your coursework and give any particular feedback that is needed. I am going to strongly recommend that as you're going through the CDA process, you're allowing each chapter to take about 2 weeks to complete. This is not something that you can do in a single day. This is not something you can do in a couple of hours. You're going to read each chapter in the Essentials textbook. You're going to read each chapter in your competency standards. You're going to watch the applicable videos that are on the website for each chapter. And then you're going to complete your worksheets and complete your exam. This takes time. That's why I'm telling you that you need to allow approximately 2 weeks at a minimum for each chapter. This is where I was saying it takes the average person anywhere from 6 to 9 months to complete this coursework. It is not reasonable for someone to be able to submit 2 or 3 chapters in one day. If I start receiving 2 or 3 chapters in one day from a single person, that right there is a red flag that you're not following the process. You're probably going to get a phone call or an email from me asking for clarification. Once again, you're going to read. You've got reading assignments for each chapter. You're going to read that in the Essentials textbook. You're also going to read the material in the competency standards. Y'all, highlight, take notes. All right, if you've got additional questions or you need additional information beyond the scope of the material, give me a call, shoot me an email, message me from our website. If you go to the upper right-hand corner of our website, you can send me a message. Or if you need to get further clarification from your center director on what your school's policy or process is in regards to a particular piece of information in the material. Again, this is about discovery and growth, all right? So your reading assignments are going to be very important for you to follow. Like I said earlier, there are videos that are going to be attached to each chapter for you to watch. And there's going to be some questions that you're going to answer about these videos. I am updating these videos often, all right? So the video that you watch might be different than a video that, another participant may watch, because we are updating these frequently based on current trends and current events. And then we go to the worksheets. And like I said, you're going to complete each worksheet for each chapter. Make sure you scroll down and save your progress as needed so that you can come back to it. They do take time, so sometimes you need to take a break, complete a little bit here, complete a little bit there, but make sure you're saving your progress. If you don't save your progress and your computer shuts down or you close your browser, you're going to lose your work, all right? Your answers must reflect the reading material and the information in the videos. And again, it's coming from your perspective of your classroom. Putting a not applicable or an NA is not an acceptable answer. If you feel like a particular question is not applicable to you or not applicable to your program, so for example, there is one particular question about caring for a child with a chronic illness. If you have never cared for a child with a chronic illness, then what you're going to do is you're going to answer the question and you're going to describe how you will care for a child with a chronic illness when that time comes. Okay, so whether it's a child with a chronic illness, a child with a special care need, gross motor activities outside, these are things that I commonly see people put an NA on. I'm going to be rejecting those worksheets if I get those type of answers. Okay, so reflect on and come up with a plan on how you will handle these situations in the future. Remember, the CDA process is about growth. It's about preparation. All right, it's about being one step ahead of what's going on in your classroom. Another very important part of the CDA process is you're going to be writing competency statements and philosophy statements, professional philosophy statements. You're going to notice on the worksheets that the last couple of questions are normally in regards to competency statements and professional philosophy statements. All right, so once again, I'm trying to prepare you to have these items written that you can put into your professional portfolio, and then it's done. So you kind of want to be writing these statements as you go along. That way you're not bombarded at the end of the process. Your competency statements and your professional philosophy statements, we recommend that those are about 200 and 250 words in length and written in first person. All right. So this is basically your commitment to the industry, your commitment to early education. So we want those written in first person, and like I said, they're going to be substantial. On your professional portfolio, like I said, you're going to be required to collect these documents as you go through the coursework, and then you start building that professional portfolio as you go along. If you look in your competency statements booklet, you're going to see the table of contents of your professional portfolio, what needs to be included in that, whether you're doing a binder or you're doing a file folder box, or I've seen it done many, many different ways. It's whatever works best for you. I like binders with page protectors. That's what I usually have my students do. But start building that. Go ahead and print out the table of contents or pull it out of this book right here, and then you can kind of start building those documents. That way, again, when you're done with this coursework, you've got it ready to go, you're ready to apply. At the end of the 13 chapters, I'm going to give you a practice exam, and this practice exam is going to prepare you for your actual exam that you will do at the testing center in your local area. We're going to be able to give you feedback on the practice exam. You're going to need to know, you'll find out what chapters you need to go back and reflect on or review again, kind of where you're at on that. So the practice exam is going to be a really important step to setting you up for success with your CDA credential. And then you've got the actual application that you will do with the CDA Council out of Washington, D.C. Again, you'll go to cdacouncil.org after you complete your coursework. So you will not do this until you actually finish your coursework with me. And then you'll go ahead and apply for your CDA. You'll pay the $425 assessment fee. You'll pick a PD specialist in your area. When you go to their website, it will pull up a list of PD specialists in your particular area. You're going to arrange a date with them. You're going to schedule your test, and then you'll go from there. Please, please, please make sure that this is done so many times, not just with me, but with lots and lots of other educational programs that offer CDA. We see people that complete the coursework, but they never actually apply for their CDA. Please make sure that you actually apply for your CDA. You've done so much work and you've given so much time. Let's complete the process. Once you earn your CDA, make sure that you keep it up to date. You're going to need to renew it, all right? Don't let it expire. Please don't let it expire. If you let it expire, you're probably going to have to start all over again. So keep that up to date right there. Every once in a while, CDA will offer an amnesty program. Doesn't happen too often, but we have seen it a few times. Best thing is don't let it expire once you get it. All right, so that is an overview of the CDA program offered by Tim the Trainer. Again, I'm super excited for you on this journey. I love it. It's awesome. I am here for you. Don't hesitate to call me, email me, send me a message with any question you've got. If you need more information beyond the scope of the training material, I am here for you. All right, you've got this. All right, good luck everyone, and I will talk to you all very soon. Bye.